Same shit that everybody else been saying since I moved to 147. I ain't fought nobody. Every last one of them stump a mud hole in and he gonna be next. Watch.
Roy Jones Jr. made a bold statement that has caught the attention of boxing fans ahead of the much anticipated showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford.
I really don't have an official analysis or prediction, but I will say this. If Canelo fights the absolute correct fight that he can fight, the only correct fight that he can fight, he does have a chance, and I think he could be victorious. If he doesn't fight the one way that he can only fight to win it, Terence Crawford has 6 ways he can win it. And my money will go on the man who has 6 ways to win it over the man who has 1 way to win it.
In an interview with The Ring, Jones called Crawford a great small guy, challenging the traditional boxing wisdom that says, a good big guy beats a good little guy. According to Jones, while a good big guy might often have the edge, it's the great small guy who can overcome even the best of the bigger fighters. He went on to suggest that Crawford might be just the kind of great small guy who could potentially defy the odds and take down someone as formidable as Canelo. With both fighters set to clash in Las Vegas on September 13th, this mega fight is drawing predictions and analysis from all corners of the boxing world, with many speculating on how Crawford's exceptional skill set might give him a chance to dethrone Canelo.
I don't think Terence did with much of anything, because Terence did like I did as a heavyweight. He bulked up to the weight. He been dealing with super middles and light heavyweights in training. If you can deal with them in training, you can deal with them in the fight. So the weight should not even be an issue.
Do you think Terence is that one fighter where he could accomplish what a lot of people are thinking is not doable? Is he that one fighter who's just wired and has that different DNA?
He is, and not only to mention is he the guy that can, he's already done it. How many 2 or 3 division undisputed champions have we ever had besides Usyk is a 2 division undisputed champ? This dude is a 3 division undisputed champ already, and if he wins this, he'll be a 4 division undisputed champ. We may never see that again. See, people don't like to celebrate the reality when it's happening. They'll wait till the person dead and they talk about it. This man is the only 3 division undisputed champion that boxing has ever had. And we're asking, are we wondering, can he step up to a task? Really? Do you know who we're talking about? Good big guy does beat a good bad guy, but a great little guy, does beat a great small guy, but a great small guy beats a good big guy. We might be talking about a great small guy here. We'll find out after this fight, but we might be talking about, which I think we already are, but I think we're not talking about a good small guy. I think we're talking about a great small guy. You understand me? So this great small guy, like you saw with me, a great small guy can do anything.
Crawford, who is undefeated with an impressive record of 41-0, has long been hailed as one of the most complete fighters in the sport. He's achieved the rare feat of becoming an undisputed champion in 2 different weight classes, while also holding titles in 4. He's widely regarded for his versatility, able to switch between southpaw and orthodox stances with ease, which makes him a nightmare for opponents. Meanwhile, Canelo's record stands at 63-2-2, with his 2 losses coming at the hands of Floyd Mayweather and Dmytro Bivval. Canelo's skills have been honed over years of dominating the super middleweight division, where he recently became a 2-time undisputed champion after defeating William Skull in a rather lackluster performance. The fight between Canelo and Crawford is more than just a contest of skill and technique. It's a battle of size and power. Canelo, having spent the majority of his career fighting in the 168-pound division, will have a significant size advantage over Crawford, who has primarily fought at 147 pounds. Crawford is stepping up 2 weight classes to challenge Canelo, making it an incredibly ambitious move. His critics argue that the weight disparity could be too much to overcome, while others point to his mastery of the ring and his ability to adapt to different fighting styles as reasons he could defy the size difference and claim victory.
Anyone that thinks Crawford has a chance is a complete idiot. They have weight classes for a reason.
Too big? Too skilled?
Way too big, way too skilled. And it's not. This isn't a skill matchup. It has nothing to do with skill. It has to do with weight.
John Ryder, a boxer who faced Canelo in the past, shared his perspective on the fight and offered some advice to Crawford. Ryder acknowledged Crawford's immense talent, having watched him win titles across different weight classes, but he also warned that the jump to super middleweight could present significant challenges. According to Ryder, Crawford would need to emulate Dmytro Bivval's approach when he defeated Canelo, staying mobile, moving in and out, and avoiding getting caught in a slugfest. However, Ryder pointed out that Crawford's body might not yet be fully prepared for the weight and power that Canelo brings to the table, and that could ultimately hinder his chances.
You faced Canelo. If you could give some pointers to Crawford, what should he do to come out victorious in September?
I think you just got to watch the Bivval blueprint, the in and out. I mean, a lot of fighters getting stick now for being runners, Tom and Jerry and whatnot. But stick to what you're good at. Terence Crawford is an exceptional talent. He's won titles through the weights, undisputed at, what was it, 3 weights now. And listen, if anyone can do it, it's him. I think the weight will be too much of an issue. Canelo is a special talent. And I think the weight will play a factor in the fight. But listen, Canelo once done it and made the step up to super middleweight. I would like Crawford to be more at light middle and middle to build into it, but you take these opportunities when they come, and that's what greatness is.
Chris Algieri sees it as a win-win situation for Crawford, regardless of the outcome. Algieri suggested that Crawford is already a future Hall of Famer with a stellar resume, so even if he loses, his legacy will remain intact. In Algieri's view, Crawford's move up in weight is a bold attempt to chase greatness, and he may be able to pull off the upset by relying on his superior skill set, particularly his boxing IQ and movement. The only issue, as Algieri sees it, is whether Crawford can handle Canelo's power, which could be overwhelming for a fighter making such a significant weight jump.
That's not going to be Crawford. And that's not going to be Canelo. They're going to be their peak of what they are at this point. Because again, Crawford is 38 years old. Canelo will be 35 by then. So I think they're going to be the peak for what they are at their ages. But it's easy to go, wow, what have you done for me lately? That's usually how everyone kind of sees everything. So, but I think it's good. I think it makes the fight more enticing if people are thinking, a lot of people are thinking that Crawford can win. And don't get me wrong, Crawford can absolutely win the fight. I'm not saying he can't win the fight. But in terms of, how I see it, it hasn't really changed my thoughts because I know better than to just trust that last thing I saw because there's a lot of confounding factors.
Dmytro Bivval, the man who handed Canelo his most recent loss, weighed in on the fight as well. Bivval praised Crawford's boxing abilities, calling him a fighter with very good skills. He also acknowledged that Crawford's ability to switch stances would give him a tactical advantage, which could prove crucial in the fight. However, Bivval also noted that Crawford would need to adjust to Canelo's power at 168 pounds, something he's never had to deal with in his previous weight divisions. Bivval's words carry weight given that he's one of the few fighters who has been able to handle Canelo and emerge victorious, offering a glimpse of what Crawford might need to do to succeed.
Yeah, with it's not about only getting used to the power, and it's also about be mentally ready, because when people are not prepared them mentally, they like afraid or scared, you become weak, your body become weak. When something happened and it's something new and you wasn't ready for this, we all know these feelings, like the body become melting, like just soft, and mentality is very important also for this fight. Even his 1 weight class or 2 weight class lower, if he's mentally ready, he will be ready to get these punches and be okay with this. He could be good. At the same time, we saw how Canelo was fighting against another guys like Charlo, maybe Smith, Callum Smith, and we saw the huge difference. I think it's not because of weight class; it's about mentality the opponents.
Meanwhile, ESPN's Stephen A. Smith gave his own take on the matchup. Smith, a well-known boxing analyst, made it clear that he believes Crawford will win the fight by decision. While he acknowledged that knocking out Canelo is nearly impossible, he argued that Crawford's speed, movement, and technical boxing skills would allow him to outpoint Canelo over the course of the fight. Smith's analysis highlights one of Canelo's perceived weaknesses, his over-reliance on power punches. Smith believes that if Crawford can avoid being drawn into a brawl and stick to his boxing, he will have the tools to frustrate Canelo and win on the judges' scorecards.
You got a love for boxing.
Yes, love
Who
boxing.
gonna win the fight, man? That's coming up, the biggest
Crawford.
fight in boxing.
Crawford.
Huh?
Crawford. I'm not hesitating. Crawford. I'm not even hesitating. Crawford.
You gonna stand on that all the way to September 13th?
I love Canelo. Crawford will beat Canelo. Crawford will beat Canelo by decision. I can't see anybody knocking out Canelo Alvarez. But I do believe that if you can box and you can move, that you can beat Canelo. You can outpoint him.
That's right.
When I think about Canelo, one of the things that I don't like about Canelo, despite his greatness, and a neck as wide as Broadway for crying out loud,
Right.
it's like almost every shot has to be a power shot.
It's a power shot, yeah.
That's not beating Crawford.
That said, Smith also recognized the challenges Crawford would face in terms of size. Canelo's power at 168 pounds is a significant factor, and Crawford may find himself in trouble if he decides to engage too much. It's clear that while Smith believes in Crawford's ability to outbox Canelo, he also sees the potential dangers in trying to match Canelo's power with raw aggression. Crawford's best chance, Smith says, lies in using his jab and footwork to stay one step ahead of Canelo, capitalizing on his superior speed and ring IQ.
I will confess, I think Gervonta Davis's trainer, Cal, I think he said this. He said Crawford could find himself in trouble if he decides to engage with Canelo, because Canelo is the naturally bigger, strong fighter. And I don't care that Crawford's gotten bigger, and I don't care that Crawford's gonna go in there just as big as Canelo. Canelo is accustomed to fighting at the weight, and Crawford is not. And Canelo is a genius in this regard. You don't see him show up for fights not ready. He's always ready.
Always prepared.
He's always ready.
gotta give
He's
him that.
always prepared. So I think he's the slower fighter, though. And I think that Crawford is brilliant as a boxer. And I think that between switching to conventional and southpaw, using his jab and movement, I think that Crawford.
Carl Froch added his thoughts to the discussion, but his perspective leaned toward Canelo. Froch, who has sparred with top-level welterweights like Kell Brook, pointed out that while Crawford is undoubtedly skilled, there's a limit to how well a smaller fighter can perform against someone with Canelo's strength and experience at the super middleweight level.
I think it's a great fight. It's really interesting, intriguing, because Crawford's so good, so talented, unbeaten, the box of tricks. I thought the Errol Spence fight would have been close and he absolutely demolished him. But I just think he's out of his weight division. Well, he is out of his weight division. 2 or 3 weight divisions is coming up.
Yeah.
And I just don't see how a welterweight can step up to super middleweight, especially a super middleweight who's been up at light heavyweight. I don't see how he can do that and perform for longer than 4, 5, maybe 6 rounds.
Really?
I just think the weight will get to him. I used to spar welterweights.
Okay.
And they're good for a round or 2 because they're quicker than you. When they're skillful and fast, they've got you on the end of the jab, they're catching you with shots. But the minute you get pissed off and just close that distance a little bit, start to lean on them, start to wrap them around the body and bring it back upstairs, it's almost like the fight's over. It's like you can just bully somebody. There's weight divisions in boxing for a reason.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, and in some of the divisions, there's only 4 or 5 pounds between the divisions. This is Terence Crawford coming up 3 weight divisions, from 147 all the way up to 168, super middleweight, against a guy who's established at super middleweight, undisputed king, and his won titles at light heavyweight as well.
He's got a lot to prove, and he really
He's got a massive mountain.
What advice would you
and
give
he's the
to
older
Terence?
fighter, Crawford. He's 38, 39 years old. I know Canelo's got more miles on the clock, so over 65. But he's not a young man, Terence Crawford. So it's outstanding what he's doing. I don't like to say it, but he might be cashing out. He might be thinking big fight with Crawford.
On the other hand, Caleb Plant, another super middleweight fighter who knows Canelo all too well, adds a more balanced viewpoint to the debate. Plant believes that while size and raw talent will be important factors, mental toughness is just as crucial in this kind of contest. He acknowledges Canelo's immense power and experience at 168 pounds, but also praises Crawford for his adaptability and sharp boxing mind. Plant emphasizes that both fighters bring distinct qualities to the table: Canelo's unrelenting force and experience in the division, and Crawford's supreme boxing IQ and ability to adjust on the fly. Plant sees the fight as an intriguing spectacle where both fighters will have their strengths tested to the limit.
Terrence is not a regular guy. You know what I'm saying? He's special. And, you know, Canelo, he's a top-notch fighter, world-class fighter. Still on the pound-for-pound list, I'm sure towards somewhere near the top. And it's exciting. You know, Terrence is freakishly strong. He can punch. He's got good crack. He can fight from both ways. Orthodox, southpaw. He can fight at mid-range, close range, outside. And he can fight going both ways. So it's exciting. It's exciting. It's a big question mark on the end of it, though. So that's why, you know, I'm sure all of us are excited for that bell to ring and, you know, be able to find out firsthand.
Sergio Mora, a former world champion, initially had reservations about Crawford's ability to compete with Canelo at super middleweight. After Canelo's lackluster win over William Skull, Mora wondered if Crawford's lighter frame and relative inexperience at the 168-pound weight class would be enough to handle Canelo's power. He recognized that Crawford's counterpunching ability and his versatility in switching stances could help neutralize Canelo's strengths. Mora acknowledged that while Crawford would face significant challenges at the higher weight class, his ability to adapt to different styles and his impressive defensive skills could allow him to make a competitive fight of it.
Cons. Initially, I said, oh man, this is just a money grab. I mean, Crawford started at 135. How is he going to be at a guy that's fight as high as 175? And then you saw Canelo's fight against William School, you know, his last fight. It wasn't a good fight, man. You've seen that he doesn't have the fastball anymore. He doesn't have well, he's never had fast feet, but at least he's not cutting off the ring like he used to. Yeah. And the explosiveness in his combinations and in half speed, it wasn't there either because there was nothing to hit. So can you imagine a Bud Crawford who's nowhere near a William School? School just ran. He didn't try to win that fight. Bud's going to try to win the fight. Mm-hmm. He's going to have the footwork. He's going to have the hand speed. He's going to have, you know, maybe not the power of Canelo, but he's going to have respectable pop in that punch coming from both stances, mind you, the left-handed and the right-handed stance. And I just think ultimately Crawford just is a mean mofo. This dude mean. Yeah. I mean, I met Bud a couple of times. You know, he pulls me aside and he gives me that look. He's a mean, intimidating dude, man. Yeah. And then I've been seeing how he's been growing into the frame.
He's gotten big.
He's gotten big. He's gotten muscular, and he's looking more like a middleweight, super middleweight. The closer the fight gets, the more I'm looking at Crawford like, this dude might do something, man. Because all along I haven't changed my tune. I say Canelo's gonna win this fight, but he's not gonna come out of it unscathed. I can see him being bruised up, battered, maybe a little bit of blood, but his size is gonna come in the end. Now I'm starting to change my tune. I could maybe see the day that we've seen Canelo finally get old, no excuses, just Crawford pot-shotting him, having the night of his life, and we just watch something great. I can visualize it, man. So the closer this fight gets, the more that I'm looking at it like a 50-50 fight.
With the fight now only weeks away, there is no shortage of opinions and predictions regarding the outcome. Canelo is undoubtedly the favorite, given his experience at 168 pounds and his track record of dominating the division. However, Crawford's skills, versatility, and unbeaten record make him a formidable challenger. As with any major fight in boxing, the outcome is never guaranteed, and this matchup is shaping up to be one of the most exciting and unpredictable bouts in recent memory. In the end, the fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Crawford will not just be a clash of styles and skills, but a battle of heart and determination. Crawford's ambition to move up 2 weight classes in pursuit of greatness is something that can't be overlooked, and his ability to overcome the odds will be tested like never before. Whether he can defeat Canelo or not, this fight will add another chapter to the legacies of both men, with fans eagerly awaiting to see who will come out on top in what promises to be an unforgettable night of boxing.